Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto, and today guys we are taking another cheeky look at XRP, specifically around the price prediction of $30, Chris. And that'd be nice, that'd be a nice $30 XRP.
That would be lovely, Nick.
That would be lovely. And I think a lot of you guys would be thinking the same. So we're going to get into what's going on here, who's exactly talking about this $30 XRP price prediction, get into some nitty gritty there. We'll have a look at the XRP chart. It's doing quite well recently. Have a look what's going on the daily, the 4-hourly and the hourly view of the XRP charts. And yeah, really kind of hopefully get some insight as to where this thing might be going. So as always, if you find this video useful, informative, do go ahead and smash that like button for Chris. He really does appreciate it. And if you're new to the channel and not yet subscribed, do go ahead and subscribe. By subscribing, you will be kept up to date with all of the various videos and live streams that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. Right, Chris, should we jump on over to the desktop and take a look?
Yeah, love it or hate this project. Let's get into it, Nick.
Fantastic. So just here on the daily hodl, we have analyst says that XRP poised to pop and outperform Bitcoin. That does sound nice, doesn't it? Here's his new target. So the crypto strategist with a large following on Twitter is bullish on XRP. There's loads of people with large followings on Twitter who are incredibly bullish on XRP. Some of them come up with some really ridiculous numbers, and some of them come up with some meaningful ones. So this guy is, however, quite famous, and he's a trader that is well known in the industry, Chris. This is Credible Crypto, and he has 113,000 followers, and he's basically informing them what he thinks is going to happen here with XRP. So here's the quote from him directly. It says, "Did I mention I think XRP is going to pop? Odds XRP increases against Bitcoin here are high, but in the XRP will outperform Bitcoin from current levels is an extremely low risk, high reward bet to make. I'm taking it." Okay, so we know that he's getting into XRP, already in XRP. I think he's actually probably already there, because I think from 2020 he was talking about XRP as well. And so XRP's price took a big hit in late December after the SEC filed a lawsuit against Ripple, and we've talked about that a little bit as well. And it's sort of alleged, that the company sold illegal, XRP securities, right, unregistered securities, and continues to do so to this day, which is really interesting because we've covered that whole thing quite a few times, right? The SEC nonsense, as we've referred to it. And the interesting thing here is they alleged that it was a security back then. And it's hard to say that it wasn't. I think in the early days it probably was, if we're brutally honest with ourselves. But it's definitely not today. So the fact that they come out and say they're continuing to do so by selling XRP today is a bit of nonsense. But it's even more nonsense, Chris, because they haven't even asked the judge to declare XRP a security. So if they actually believed that XRP was a security today, right, they would have actually, asked the judge to class it a security. Yeah. So who knows? It just seems a bit daft to me. Very illogical. Yeah. But earlier this month, Chris, XRP briefly exploded in value to more than 70 cents. But it has, since most, lost some of that ground. And it's still the 6th ranked cryptocurrency by market cap, and it's only really just behind the others if we really look at it from that way. Trading around 51 cent at the time of writing this article, which is up 30.6% in the past several days, and that's according to CoinGecko. But what we can do is probably just pull up the coin market cap here, and we can see that XRP is currently trading at 52%, or 52 cent, and 23% for the 7 days there. Market cap here is 23 billion, so slightly above a Polkadot here at 22 billion, but now Cardano has taken that spot, I guess, up there at 4th. 3rd, I like to think, because of well, we know Tether doesn't count. But still, so still that kind of high ranking. Despite the previous negative price action in response to the SEC lawsuit, Credible Crypto does not think the lawsuit will factor into XRP's performance in the short term, which is interesting. I think it will have a factor, but more importantly, what will happen after the settlement actually happens. And I think there will be a settlement, because I don't think the SEC would want it to go any further because they're so embarrassed. They have to be embarrassed. And if they are not embarrassed, I'm embarrassed for them. Are you embarrassed for them, Chris?
I'm a little bit embarrassed. For me, I just kind of look at what what it is that they're there to do, and that is to protect retail investors. But they've actually cost retail investors an awful lot of money, more than what they're attacking Ripple over, really.
Yeah, it is this stuff. I'm embarrassed for them. They really should take a long, hard look in the mirror. That's what I think. Right, so here's a quote though, right? So, the court's decision, if it comes to that, is literally months away, and so it's not a factor that needs to be considered in the immediate short term. Risk is defined because we have a clear invalidation point and the upside potential. Its current level holds. It's far greater. So ultimately, yeah, in the short term, you're probably going to see a fraction of what its performance would have been had there been no SEC lawsuit. But there's going to be fresh money coming into this space that probably aren't even aware. They're just going to buy whatever's in that top 10, right? They're just going, oh yeah, that'll do. I'll buy some of that. Try my luck.
Super. Should I go into what price he thinks it's going to go to, Nick?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so the analyst also believes XRP's potential is capped at $10, as long as the lawsuit's ongoing, obviously. $30 was the highest in my range, he said. $20 to $30 was my expectation. I still think that range is feasible, but we'll likely start taking some profits as we approach the $10 due to the uncertainty around the SEC situation. Incredible Crypto has broadcast bullish opinions on XRP numerous times throughout the past 7 months. So I kind of think that it's just an ongoing sort of saga, isn't it? This XRP, SEC, and the haters and the lovers.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's good to see some numbers that he's thrown out here. Obviously, that $30 price prediction there for XRP, and he still thinks that's his expectation, right? He still thinks that is something, but he will potentially be exiting at around $10. And I think $10 with a lawsuit going on is ambitious. I think there's definitely an upswing to it. But if it does get to $10, Chris, with the uncertainty, then I don't think I would exit, because we kind of have that kin example, don't we, where we know whatever the price is approximately, once the settlement kicks in and you pay your fine and you get that slap on the wrist, you're going to see significant growth. It's just going to be like FOMO straight into XRP. I don't want to necessarily miss out on that, but $10 is a fantastic price as well. And I imagine loads of people will potentially have good amounts that they might exit. They might exit 20, 30, 50% of their bag at that point. And it's up to every individual to make those calls. Chris, let's take a look at the XRP chart, right? So this is the XRP chart to USD on the daily. And we can see, that pump and dump scam that was going on over there. Just highlight that. That's all of this nonsense. And we can see that we've rallied up quite nicely over the past few days as well. So what does this actually look like? We can see the volumes are relatively low. They've actually came down day on day here. So today's volume is lower than it was in the previous days. And MACD is still positive because ultimately the RSI here is positive. We're approaching the overbought area of this daily chart. So we'll have to see if that mirrors down as we go into the lower levels of this chart. So the 4-hourly view and the 1-hourly view. So the daily, we were quite low down here, right, for quite some time. We obviously had that pump and dump scam just around here. You can see that crashing out and coming down here. We're still, relatively quite high on this RSI indicator, even when we had this huge red sell-off, right? So things were looking pretty good. But let's pull it down into our 4-hourly view, Chris. And this shows a little bit more of what's been going on. We can see that volumes and how they spike, how they've been flat, and they've come down recently in the last sort of, a few hours. So in this 4-hourly view, we can see that we've had a few candles here with decreasing volumes. But that's okay, because decreasing volumes is how we continue to trade sideways whilst correcting our RSI. So we can see how we were up here. We were overbought very briefly. We had that correction on the RSI, pulling the price down a little bit, and we rallied up and traded sideways a little bit. That's pulled the RSI up to here about 66, right? So that's actually a good idea to have that volume decreasing so that the RSI can potentially cool off a little bit. without damaging the price too much. So the 4-hour chart, Chris, looks okay. It looks like we could potentially find good, strong support in and around this area here, maybe. So we'll have to see if that plays out. But let's go then pull this into our 1-hour view. The 1-hour view, again, just shows us a little bit more of the detail. And it's really good to see that volume really decreasing, but it started to flatten out just most recently in the last 3 hours or so. So that's where you can start seeing this kind of sideways trading, which is good. It seems to be that we have found a bit of a bottom here. So we'll have to see if that plays out and this area holds. If it holds as a good support, then that's a good range, right? To be kind of maybe trading down towards 50 cent and maybe up. That would correct the RSI even further. But right now it's still pretty good, Chris. We've seen it most recently down here towards 52. And now it's at about 61 on the RSI. That means that we're about to get a good switch on this MACD. So no doubt there'll be some traders who are paying attention to the MACD line will know that that's going to cross over. And that's why you're going to start seeing some price movements here. So we could potentially enter this overbought area pretty quickly if the volume decides to kick back up again. So we'll have to watch that and see how that plays out. But the RSI is pretty good. MACD is going to be good in the next 1 hour after recording this video. If the volume can continue to get some good volume here and increase, then we should start seeing a new price. But I'm just going to quickly mark out on this chart the higher level here. Just where we had that level there, because that's going to be a bit of resistance, and we want to see if we can pierce through this resistance up here as well. So we'll just have to see how that one plays out. But yeah, everything's looking pretty good on that 1 hour. Let's just go ahead and bring it up to the daily view once again, pull this down and just do a quick summarization of what we're expecting here. So we know that the volumes are relatively low at the moment. On the hourly view, we know that the MACD and the RSI are okay. So the MACD is about to have a positive cross and the RSI is around 61 or so. So it's going to potentially be moving up towards the overbought area, and then we'll expect a correction. So I'm kind of anticipating, Chris, maybe hitting around 53 cent again and having a correction down towards 50. And potentially just trading sideways in here for maybe the next 1 or 2 days. And of course, I could be wrong. We could stay overbought for a little bit longer if the volume really kicks in and takes over. And if that's the case, then we will potentially be aiming up towards 59 cent up here. Okay, before trying to take out the 702. The 702 area is a key area that we want in order to really push things ahead. But that comes in at 62 cents. So ideally, we need to get past the 53 cent. And if we can do that with good volume and we can stay overbought for a little while, maybe we'll come back down, retest that 53 cent as support rather than resistance, and then head on up to some of these other areas such as 59 cent, and then the 702 Fibonacci level of 62.2. If we can get that a close, Chris, above that 62.2, then we're going to have some good strong growth on our hands. Just to kind of allude to some of the things that we're seeing here within the chart, we can see that the first price target is going to be 98 cent for XRP. Following that, we have $1.37. After that, we have $1.76 and then $2. Okay, so those are the extension levels on the Fibonacci extension that we have. And what we've used for this extension and Fibonacci retracements is the pump and dump scam. So we saw how high it got to. Okay, so that was our high point, and our low point was how low it got to after we had that. So it went as high as there and as low as there, and then ultimately this is predicting out how high things could go with the right circumstances. So we have some targets in mind, and we know what's going to happen in the short term, hopefully here with some areas of resistance and support and short-term price targets. Obviously, these are short terms, and as soon as we get new rallies, we can set new price targets as well. But for now, we should be really hyper-focused on getting that 702 level taken out of the equation, Chris, aiming for 62.2 cent. And then once we get past that, it should have no problem, fast approaching the 98 cent area and taking out some of those price points. So yeah, it's really looking quite good at this point, Chris. And I think we've got a good area of support and resistance. We'll see if that holds. And I think it's going to be pretty good.
Yeah, no, it sounds really good, Nick. Yeah, I love this project, and I think it's going to do really, really well, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's it's unfortunate we've had the SEC nonsense. When we did, it was definitely bad timing. Almost, some people might say it was deliberate. But it is what it is, and we've we were not shaken out. And if you're an XRP and you were not shaken out, let us know in the comments. How strong are your hands? Ours are rock solid, aren't they, Chris?
Yeah, that's it, Nick. Love this project.
Right, so guys, if you have found this useful, informative, do go ahead and smash that like button for Chris. He really does appreciate it. I really appreciate it. And if you're new to the channel and you're not yet subscribed, do go ahead and subscribe. By subscribing, you will be kept up to date with all the various videos and live streams that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. And with all this said and done, we hope you have a fantastic day, and we'll catch you all in the next one.
Super. Take care.